This is the hand of a person who consulted me when he lost his job many years ago. Typical office politics in a bootlicking culture, promotion, bad decisions can be fairly predicted in palmistry. During this tough times, millions of people have lost their jobs and heading towards depression. The question is, can this be predicted from the hands? A palm reader, or a billionaire, is a nobody in front of Mother Nature. The hand belongs to the fire type, and long Apollo finger almost reaching the Saturn finger accentuates the risk-taking abilities, gambling tendencies and ego of a person. Thick third section and peacock eye pattern on the tip of Apollo finger represents he is technically skilled, creative person who knows how to make use of an opportunity. In addition, fingers are smooth and short relative to the palm. Long first section of thumb denotes he is super quick and don't think twice before making any decisions. It leads to impulsive nature, and this is one of the personality traits that puts him in hot waters in the later period of his life, which you will understand at the end of this video. Some things are destined to happen as it is, which are beyond one's control, while other future bad events have the potential to change, provided the person realizes where he or she is going wrong, or how to contain it. Palmistry assists on both spectrum. There is a presence of unique formation of loop on the developed mount of moon pointing towards the sun mount. Headline is curving towards moon mount. Short fingers with conic tips suggests he is gifted with psychic abilities to see through other people's mind and understand their intentions and hidden agenda. Similarly, loop is found just below the upper Mars on his left hand that reflects his sharp memory to remember distant events, numbers, faces, and accentuates his intuition and sixth sense. It is rare to find such patterns on both hands and acts as a huge advantage in anyone's career, and clearly shows that the frontal lobe of the brain associated with short-term and long-term memory is quite developed. Fire hands typically works in any leadership or managerial positions because they are passionate and full of energy. However, not everyone is a true leader. The Jupiter finger is low set and quite short as compared to Apollo finger represents lack of self-confidence. He doubts his own talents and capabilities. For example, even if such person is capable and taken on board for a leadership role, he would be skeptical whether he can deliver his responsibilities and handle a team. Furthermore, low set little finger, spot on the mount of moon and the shape of tip of first section of thumb is a sign of nervous energy, hesitation and problems in effective communication to put his point across. Girdle of Venus is present on both hands and cutting the sun line on the left hand. Heart line is thick, suggests he is extra sensitive to other people's opinions and comments that creates inner turmoil, restlessness, anxiety, abnormal palpitation of heart and non-confrontational in nature. Developed lower Mars and all the lines from major lines heading towards it, denotes he is reactive, cannot keep a tab on his anger, and does not like others to help, otherwise his self-pride will get hurt. These are the vital areas he should work on to improve his life. Well-marked loop found in between the Saturn and the ring finger. Good fate line running towards the mount of Saturn represents he is very serious about his work and will rise to the position of power through his hard work. Whorl on the tip of both thumbs and developed upper mount of Mars denotes his exceptional willpower and go-getter attitude to move ahead in his life. He walks the talk, has an ability and courage to fight the odds, and withstand pressure, self-motivated individual. That's one of the primary reasons I told him he is definitely going to get a job, despite some negative markings on the hands. If you closely observe his left hand, sun line emerges from the upper Mars and goes to the sun mount, reinforces his persistent aggressive efforts, and success will come at later part in his life after lots of struggles. In fact, He used to work for long hours and quickly became one of the most respected person in his organization, the quintessential dedicated individual. A clear line joins the fate line. Small lines are also getting sucked into the fate line indicates somebody must have recognized his talent and helped him a lot in the early phase of his life. All his ambitions and desires will materialize, and the line from the headline towards the Saturn mount ending in a trident-like formation reinforces success will come through tremendous efforts. Fate line starting from a triangle promises sudden change of lifestyle and wealth. At the same time, he got independent around the age of 19. If you look all these combinations in a cluster, it is an extraordinary combination. Not everyone gets the kind of head start he got in his life, and it really makes a ton of difference when it comes to position and power. Around the age 25, he got money conscious, started thinking from a business standpoint, and denotes financial success in the field of science. Similarly, at the age of 30, a line from the Venus mount goes all the way to the mount of Saturn, represents stupendous materialistic success, purchase of new home, new lifestyle or promotion with the help of someone. At the same time, he started getting recognized for his work. However, it would be on and off because of the wavy and uneven density of the line, joining the Sun line on the Sun mount. Soon after, a triangle is formed on the life line which represents series of monetary gains. However, break in the influence line and defective heart line at the same time frame denotes emotional and personal friction. That would result into disappointment in the subsequent 2 years, roughly at the age of 37. In traditional palmistry, some people used to call a cross between the lifeline and the fate line as St. Andrew's cross, who is destined to save lives and help the people in distress. In reality, it is utter nonsense and garbage, just like Vishnu symbol I mentioned in my earlier videos. The person who invented this was a firm believer of Jesus, and got carried away with his religious feelings, which has nothing to do with palmistry. At the age of around 42, he took a very impulsive heart decision that affected his career in a big way. The thickness of the line clearly shows the magnitude of the trouble. At the exact same time, there was a damage to his reputation, huge financial loss, or somebody tried to ruin him and play dirty politics. He got mentally disturbed and excessively stressed, so much so that it weakened his concentration level, and there was a sudden change in the thought process. Out of fear, he fiddled with different options and started working simultaneously in another direction. You can see the line from the thumb cutting the lifeline on his left hand as well. He consulted me at the age of 50, and it replicated the previous pattern. That's why it is important to understand the personality traits in palmistry. After the age of 50, he would make brilliant financial success in business venture, quality time with family members as the line is joining another line on a developed Mercury mount and apex is shifting towards the Sun mount. Although sudden change of line is considered not so good, another line from this line to the mount of Sun and big triangle on the lifeline reinforces security, success in his endeavor, inner satisfaction and fame in his life which he aptly deserve. Marriage line in joining into one single line along with the strong influence line on both hands denotes good marriage, and the spouse would support him through thick and thin, kinda backbone of his life. Check out difficult life and unlucky signs in palmistry by clicking on the I button. Share this video with your family and friends. And don't forget to subscribe with those notifications on. As always, thanks for watching.